Welcome to the lesson, Air Conditioning System. 2 air conditioning packs are used to supply air for the flight deck and passenger cabin. A single pack is capable of supplying all air conditioning requirements should one fail. The air conditioning packs are used to control the temperature and humidity of the air. The number 1 pack is supplied from the left air supply system. The number 2 pack is supplied from the right air supply system. Pack 1 supplies air to the flight deck and the passenger cabin. Pack 2 normally supplies air to the passenger cabin only. Pack 2 will supply both the cabin and the flight deck if Pack 1 fails. Air supplied to the cabin exits through sidewall vents and various vents on the flight deck before passing through floor vents to the underfloor area and escaping through the discharge valves. Air is allowed into each pack by a pack valve which is pneumatically actuated and controlled by a pack switch on the air conditioning panel. Indication of pack valve operation is given by a pressure switch in the pack outlet illuminating a pack valve NIPS indication. Each pack may be operated in either fresh or recirc mode. When fresh is selected, the pack valve is fully open to allow maximum airflow through each pack. With recirc selected, bleed air passing through each pack valve is restricted and a recirculation valve is opened in the cabin. This allows cabin air to be drawn into the outlet of each pack to supplement airflow to the same mass flow rate as fresh mode. Recirc valve indicates that the recirculation valve is not in the position selected. The recirculation valve is pneumatically actuated from the right side air supply system and controlled from the air conditioning panel. When performing a takeoff with air from the engines. Fresh will of bleed air by the use of heat exchangers and an air cycle machine called a cold air unit. Air enters the heat exchanger through an inlet at the base of the fin and exits from each pack through exhausts on either side of the fuselage. Temperature control is achieved by a temperature control valve on each pack, which mixes cooled air with hot bleed air. When the flight deck temperature control or cabin temperature control is selected to auto, flight deck and cabin temperature are controlled automatically by rotating the appropriate temperature controller. Automatic mode allows temperature of between 17 degrees Celsius to 28 degrees Celsius to be selected. Temperature may be controlled manually by selecting Manual and directly controlling the position of the temperature control valve by use of the Cool-Warm control. Cabin temperature is on the cabin temperature gauge. Pack outlet duct temperatures are indicated in separate gauges. Air is distributed from pack 1 and 2 to the side outlet in the A cabin fan circulates air through the outlets on the passenger service units, the toilets, and the galleys. Air from Pack 1 is ducted to the following flight deck outlets: rear floor vents, side console outlets, forward floor vents, windscreen demist, roof flood. As a customer option, a low-pressure ground supply may be fitted to provide ground-based air conditioning. A flight deck fan circulates air from the rear side rear vent to the overhead adjustable roof outlets and the instrument panel cooling. A ram air system allows the cabin to be ventilated at low altitudes following failure of the air conditioning system. The ram air system may also be used for ventilation following smoke in the cabin. Ram air is controlled by a switch on the air conditioning panel. This switch is normally selected to the shut position. During ground operations, the air supply from Pack 1 can be diverted from the cabin to the flight deck by selecting Flight Deck Air On. This is a customer option, and air high flow illuminates when selected. Two AC-powered cooling fans, only one of which will be active, are located in the forward cargo compartment. The active fan is selected using a Fan 1, Fan 2 switch located either on the first officer's instrument panel or in the avionics bay. Failure of the active fan is indicated by avionics fan off on the air conditioning panel. The Fan 1, Fan 2 switch allows the alternative fan to be selected following a failure of the active fan. The selected fan operates whenever AC bus 1 is powered. If AC bus 1 fails, the fan will automatically switch to AC bus 2. The fan draws air from the avionics bay for cooling of electrical equipment and the instrument panels, and also provides ventilation of the forward galley. Air from the fans is exhausted into a cavity in the front cargo compartment past a smoke detector and overboard through the forward discharge outflow valves. For those aircraft fitted with Animal Bay, heat and ventilation is provided by selecting Animal Bay Heat on the first officer's instrument panel. For the system to operate, the Animal Bay door must be closed and unlocked. During the external checks, the ram air inlet at the base of the fin must be checked clear. Each pack outlet must be checked clear. The condition of the low-pressure ground connector must be checked and the door closed. After APU start, both packs should be checked off and the ram air valve shut. APU air can be selected on after 2 to 5 minutes. The flight deck and cabin temperature control should be set to auto. The auto temperature selectors and the flight deck and cabin fan should be set as required before the packs are selected on. Cabin air may be set to fresh or recirc as required. Under normal conditions, one pack with recirc selected should be used. But both packs with fresh may be used in very hot or cold ambient conditions. Recirc should be used in hot and humid conditions to reduce fog from the air conditioning vents. If the APU generator is being used for engine start, both packs and APU air must be selected off immediately before start. Selecting cabin air to fresh will remove the recirc valve indication. After engine start, the packs may be selected on with air supplied from either the APU or the engines depending on the required takeoff bleed configuration. Before leaving the aircraft, the packs and APU air are selected off before the APU is stopped. The flight deck and cabin fan switches are selected off. A temperature switch in the outlet duct illuminates a pack high temperature annunciator when the temperature exceeds 105 ambient degrees Celsius. The pack will automatically shut down. The pack must be switched off and temperature control selected to manual. The pack may be selected back on, but the duct temperature must be monitored closely and maintained between 3 degrees and 75 degrees Celsius. If the temperature of the cold air unit is too high, cold air unit high temp will illuminate. The pack will automatically shut down. The relevant pack must be selected off and remain off for the remainder of the flight. If pack valve illuminates when the pack is switched off, select the pack back on, then off. If the annunciator remains lit, then the pack valve may have failed in the open position. Pack valve may illuminate under any of the following conditions: if the APU is supplying air up to 15,000 feet. Cabin pressurization will still be maintained, however, engine air should be used as soon as possible. Pack valve may illuminate with